Alright, so you might have noticed that they changed Chrono's name to just O. The reason for that is for each character that the like letter takes up a frame to spell out his name in text boxes. So over time, it saves a little bit of time. They also start the game with no save files. The reason for doing that is to guarantee that when you start a new game that you start on the correct RNG screen. Oh. Also, they go right into the menu to change their text speed to 1 to be faster. And they might change their default controls to something else because later in the run, you need to, if you press a button, like the menu button, which is default on X, there's a screen where it'll trigger a fight that you don't want to get into. So some people will actually change the button because if you press X in that room, it triggers a fight. They also put their cursor on memory, which I believe enables you to be able to just hit X for attack, which is very useful in the run. Again, changing everyone's name to a single character adds up over time. So it looks like Kehanort has a slight lead right now. So the beginning of this is a little slow. Sorry for the lack of commentary. I don't really know what to say for this little bit. But Marl gets sucked into time, and our boy Chrono is going to go fix it. So on this first fight here, there's a pretty tight input. You want to hit right and then attack, because you want to attack the guy that's about to attack you. You don't want to get bonked, basically. So the first two fights actually have a really tight input. Looks like Kehanort got it right there. Okay. So yeah, right off the gate, no bonks. pretty good. Let's see if Tzoonami can do the same. Also, there's a nice little skip here. Alright, cool. So Kehanort just skipped a fight that would, if he had gotten into the encounter, would have thrown off the RNG and he would have been off script, which loses quite a bit of time. Alright, looks like Tzoonami's going to execute this properly as well. Let's see if he can get the bird skip. You probably see him pause buffering right now. That's just so that he can move 1 pixel to the left. He needs to move another, though. There he goes. That might have been 3 total, but it was a little hard to tell. But he got through it. So both racers right now are on the correct script and on the RNG and everything, so that's good. Imagine Chrono's frustration rather, of this this girl going back in time and then disappearing after you go back in time. And then we're going to have Luca explain to us how your ancestor disappearing in the past affects what happens to you. The grandfather paradox. Sort of a grandfather paradox. Not exactly, but it's close enough. And we can see a blue Piccolo assassinate Marl's ancestor, thus making her not exist in the current timeline. Alright, so we got our second fight coming up for Kehanort. I think I'm just gonna... Oh, man. His name's... I'm gonna call him Key. So he needs to attack the middle guy by hitting right X right, which he did. He does. And then you sort of want to time your ATBs here where that Luca's almost matches up with Chrono, so that Chrono attacks before Luca does. So that, you know, you're staying on script. So he executed that perfectly. He should be set up for a really nice Naga fight. You also have to get into an encounter down here so you can get Fire Whirl and stuff like that. Some attacks that you need. That's why they get in a fight down here. You want to do something similar here too, where you attack... Luca attacks when her ATB matches Chrono's, and she attacks the left one. But the left one dies, and she attacks the right one. But it sets it up. The Naga fight, I think. Actually, I think... Looks like Zoo did not get the correct script, but you can fix it. I don't know if he knows the backup or not. We saw Ottavino fix his script on this fight the other day. So Key should get a firewall on 3 of these Nagas right here. Perfect. Otherwise, if you're off the script here, the Nagas can slow you, and it's like brutal. If the fight lasts way too long. And now we're gonna meet the best character in the game, Frog. Let's see what happens with Zoo here. I suspect that he won't get all 3. Yeah, so he's going to get a slow spell. Hopefully it doesn't actually slow Luca here. Yeah, perfect. So he can probably get away with 2 fire whirls. That's fine. Let us search the environs. Skian gets the revive. It's a nice little safety strat, sort of. It also helps later, like managing your menu. Puts like shelter in a really nice spot where you can just hit like R and scroll right down to the shelter. He also did a fade out glitch there. It's pretty cool. I'll try to explain the fade out glitch. Do my best. Basically, with the fade out, you go through a door transition. You like trigger the door transition, and then you cancel the door transition by going into the menu. And by doing that, you store the transition, so you can move around. And later, you'll see him both of them, hopefully, store the transition by opening and closing the menu and standing on a save point. And by doing that, you store the save point as well. So like when you let the door transition finally go, you go through the door while you're standing on a save point, which allows you to be able to save anywhere, which is pretty handy in the run. Hopefully I explained that relatively good so that it makes sense. Alright, so Kehanort is about to perform the save anywhere glitch. He's taking a safety save, which is smart. He's also going to do an unequip glitch. Normally you're not supposed to be able to unequip armor, but you can by performing a simple glitch where you end up equipping a null piece of armor, which actually boosts your magic defense and your magic attack. He also just ran past a boss trigger here and saved. Like, after doing the save anywhere glitch, he ran past a boss trigger, saved, and reloaded. And the game thinks because you ran past the trigger and saved, and then when you reload, the game thinks he must have beaten the boss. I think that's my understanding of it, at least. So the game kind of freaks out, and the boss just kind of self-destructs. So that was the first boss skip of the game. There's a few skips like that where you run past a trigger and you save after it and then reload. Because normally you can't just save anywhere, but because we do a glitch where you can save anywhere, you can run past triggers and save beyond them and reload. And the game just thinks, well, he must have beaten this guy or whatever, or gotten past this point. We're going to see Tzoonami do the same thing here. Did he unequipped? Did I see that right? This is tough paying attention to 2 runs by yourself. I really hope he unequipped it. Hopefully my eyes are just playing a trick on me. This is Jerry's favorite skip right here. The frog skip. He executed that perfectly. All right, so you're going to see him save and reload here, and that's just to manipulate the RNG. When he reloads at a certain point on this on this load screen, it'll put him on a specific sort of string of RNG that'll set up the next boss fight, so that it lines up with the script. Like you can, if he loads, oh my god, I am choking this explanation right now. So what he's trying to do is, if he loads correctly and gets on the correct RNG string, he'll be able to use the script, which is the most optimal thing that he can do, basically. Hopefully that makes sense. I like to explain it like this. If you imagine like a line that's divided into sections, and you start, like you're a dot on this line, you're on one end. When you reload and you do it correctly, the dot will be moved into another point of RNG, into another section of RNG. And when you get into fights and stuff like that, if you get into a fight you're not supposed to, your dot will move possibly into another section of RNG that you don't want to be in, right, you know? So then, like, the script no longer works because that script is aligned with that particular section of RNG, if you will. Hopefully that makes some kind of sense. Yeah, that works. That was a good explanation. It's really not even that complicated. I'm probably making it sound worse. Yo, did he get candy skip and I didn't notice? Yo, he did. I'm really bad. When did he do that? Did he really get candy skip? What a madman. Don't ask me how I didn't notice him getting that. You know where I got that explanation? From the Lua script. So I just assumed like that was the best way to visualize the RNG. Alright, so now we're doing the Chrono's getting a hearing now. And what you want to happen is you want to get guilty in this because it saves you a couple of text boxes later. But you have to answer the questions correctly. You gotta make sure you don't mash through the text boxes because you do have to pick the second choice both times. That doesn't guarantee that you'll get guilty though. I think someone told me that there's a 47% chance. You might have noticed that he picked Edid, who started this mess. Edid. So you want to pick the wrong choices, quote unquote wrong choices here, just so you get a chance to get guilty. Her wealth, yo. So I think you got it, right? The second guy determines whether or not you get it, right? You can tell I know what I'm talking about, right? Let's see if, oh my god. Let's see if Zoo can also get it. Hopefully I didn't jinx him. I've never stuttered so much in my life. Dude, guilty. So that saves about 8 seconds, I think. Later, the Chancellor and one of the what are they called? The guards, I guess. One of the guards and the Chancellor have a conversation about whether or not Chrono gets the death penalty, and it adds about 8 seconds. This on Kehanort's screen right here, this guy and the Chancellor. What is this guy called? What's your name? Supervisor. There you go. Unfortunately, it looks like Zoo did not get guilty. So going back to the RNG manipulation, assuming that Kehanort reloaded correctly, he will kill this guard in one hit and hit him for 60 damage, which will indicate that he is on the script and everything is hunky-dory. All right, perfect. So he gets a 60. Now, if he gets into any fights along the way, not to jinx him, just so that you guys get an understanding for those who don't know, if he gets into an extra fight, it'll take him off the script, and he'll have to just YOLO the boss fight. And he's doing a fade out right here, or, you know, whatever, fade in, fade out, glitch, to skip a fight encounter that's on the bridge that would normally take you off the script. All right, so this section's like Metal Gear. You gotta be not seen by these guards or you get into an attack, and this guard is being very annoying. Oh, he just ran for it. All right, let's see what Zoo's gonna happen with Zoo here. Let's see, it's 60 for Zoo. All right, great. Zoo also on the correct script, or he's on the script rather. So by being on the script, this boss fight will play out the same way every time, assuming you execute correctly. And to execute this boss fight correctly, you need to wait for animations like head repair, and then Chrono attacks his head. When Chrono attacks, then Luca will attack. Then the Dragon Tank will heal again, and then Chrono will get a crit on the head. But you have to do it during the animation. So he'll get a crit. Like, you just know because of the script. And then he's waiting for that grind attack there before Luca attacks. There's also a neat little trick. I'll see if he does it first, and then I'll mention it. Alright, so you might have noticed that he stayed in Luca's text box there before he closes it, like right after the damage was done. By doing that little sort of subtle thing, it skips an attack that Dragon Tank does. Because that we were attacking during animations and stuff. If you don't do that, Dragon Tank's ATB might slip forward a little bit, and he might get ahead, and that wouldn't work. So that's a cool little neat trick. He did that. He executed that fight perfectly. There's also a little skip right there where you walk past those guards. Normally when you walk past those guards, a text box opens and stops you, but you can sort of sneak by it. It's a pretty neat little time save. Alright, so now we got Zoo coming up on the Dragon Tank fight here. Going to see the same things. Dragon Tank will heal. Chrono's going to crit his head, but he's going to attack when he heals. Ooh, looks like he slipped up a little. So he's going to do a backup strat instead. I think he was on the right path, but maybe he's more comfortable just doing the backup strat, which is fine. So he's going to do 3 fire whirls instead. He'll have to heal. He'll have to use a tonic, but that's fine. This fight can actually be very stressful, believe it or not, especially in a race. You know, if you don't do something right, it can be very problematic and stressful. I believe Zoo. He didn't do 3 fire whirls, but it seems to be working. Works for me. All right, Kehanort is doing lab 16. Okay, that works. So when you queue up 2 okay, good. Zoo beat the Dragon Tank. That was sick. So you queue up these, like, you get like you open the chest and then the rats steal from you, which queues up 2 text boxes, and you can like run by fight triggers. It's pretty cool. Okay, so this room's coming up. The one where I was talking about earlier, where if you hit X in the room, it triggers a fight. A lot of people switch their buttons around, so they're like Y's menu instead, because the room it's hard coded to X. Yeah, so for instance, Kehanort switched his menu button. He also is doing a fade out glitch because there's a boss fight here. So if you fade out and trigger the boss fight, when the boss fight gets triggered, you get the door transition activates all the way, and you go through the door when the boss fight triggers. And because the boss fight gets triggered and you go through the door, the game again thinks, well, he must have beat him since the boss fight got triggered and he went through this door or whatever. That's like a real layman way to put it, I guess. That's my understanding of how it works. And we gotta talk to this rat. He's gonna spill the beans. We got Zoo coming up on lab 16 here. So you might have noticed when he opened that chest, he waited for that rat to touch him, so that would queue up another text box. And here's Marl conning everyone to save the world like it's their problem. Luca's kind of just like, yeah, I guess we could do it. I'm going to agree with Luca on this one. Zoo skipping the fight right now, the boss fight. Oh yeah, he's also gonna put Berserker on. They both probably did. Berserker on Marl. Berserker is a pretty dope item, accessory. You do a lot of damage with it. I think it's more than half. Like it boosts your attack by more than half, I think. You lose control of your character, but with the script, it's all scripted out for you. And it works out, and it's great. Especially with Masamune and Chrono, and it gets all these nice crits. Here's the man. Notice that Johnny's hair right now is sort of brown on Kehanort's screen, and now it seems to have changed colors. It's more of a blue or green color now. Getting a lot of bonks on Johnny here. Alright, he's gonna play it safe here. Just bounce off the back of him until around 50 where he'll hit B and jet off. Yeah. Very good. On this fight, a lot of people don't seem to know that you can sort of wait for Lucas' attack menu to come up. You sort of just queue up Chrono's attack until, you know, Lucas' turn is available, and then you can just do Flame Toss. It's not imperative that you get it off right away. Oh yeah, you have to walk by those buggers. Otherwise the fight triggers. Okay. Also, anything can happen in a Chrono Trigger race. Zoo might be a little bit behind, but it only takes one little mistake sometimes even for things to go completely wrong. Happened to me yesterday. But this isn't about me. Who cares about me? This is about Zoo and Kehanort. But Zoo is still in there. I don't want anyone to write Zoo off right now. Anything could happen. Bobo. Good name. I'm noticing some some things here. I also named Chrono No by accident yesterday, and Kehanort named Chrono No. And I named Robo just Bo, and he named him Bobo. And I don't want to jinx him, but I think that might be bad luck. I think that might be bad luck, dude. Because I was ahead. I got ahead yesterday, and I had No Chrono, and I had Bo. So keep your fingers crossed for Kehanort right now. All right, Zoo is in the race here. Let's see, in the Johnny race. He's getting some bops. All right. I always like recently, I don't know why, but like when I'm laying in bed late at night, I'll be like thinking of things, and I think about the Johnny race, and I thought, man, this race, the Johnny race, would have been so much cooler if it was like more like F-Zero. Like, dude, that'd be sick. Instead of this. Oh. Oh, he got it. Oh my god. All right. That was close. Zoo just getting in there. Oh, here's a little trick. He's running away from this fight, Kehanort. If you open the menu while you're running away, it sort of like fills up your runaway meter that doesn't exist. But like, you're basically buffering the runaway by opening the menu, and then when you close the menu, you just run off. Let's see how this slime fight goes for him. The orange slimes have a lot of defense, so you don't really want to see those things. All green, I think, is the best. I don't know much about the slime fights, like the different slime fights, but the orange ones sort of suck. Got a nice 5 there. Ooh, here we go. That was a nice cyclone. This actually seems like a pretty decent slime fight. Yeah, that seemed pretty good to me. I mean, all my slime fights are horrible, but that seemed pretty good. I think he was checking his health there to make sure he wouldn't get messed up by the robos coming up. Bobo. You're a defect, Bobo. You'll never be Robo. Oh my god. What's that movie with the guy who talks like a robot and he's got robot legs? Grandmom's Boy or whatever. What is it called? I just I just imagine him Robo doing that voice. Please stop. Alright, so this fight, he's got to get his first Cyclone in really fast. Yeah, that was pretty quick. You want to do that as quick as possible. You don't want the robots to get their turn first. Or it can be a little messy. You also want to make sure that you're attacking all three when you do the Cyclone. Microsoft Sam, dude. Ooh, looks like Luke is... See, now this is trouble because... Oh, no. Oh, no, I jinxed him, dude! I told you it's a curse! It's the Nobo curse, dude. The Nobo curse. Dude, Zoo is back in this. He's got the bad slime thing. Oh, man, I feel so bad that I even brought up the Nobo thing now. Say no to Nobo, guys. We got a race, though. No Bobo. Yeah. You never want to see the... Yeah, you're just going to see 1s and 2s. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring this on the Kehanort. I'm so sorry. But Nobo confirmed is a curse. This is a good example of why I should never give up, though. Never give up. No matter how bad it seems. No matter how salty you get, no matter how much you want to give up. You just go, hey man, stop being a punk. Just do it. Don't let everyone down. Now we have to watch this heartbreak again. The Robo beatdown. All right, Zoo. I think you got that Cyclone off good. All right, Keen. Double tap that A, man. All right, Zoo slightly ahead. Got ourselves a good race. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry for cursing your run. This is definitely my fault. If you want to meet up, and if you want to Maybe hit me in the face sometime in the future if you ever go to a GDQ or something. I'll give you that opportunity. I feel like the scum of the earth right now. All right, it's magic time almost. Rough time estimate is somewhere between an hour and 50 minutes and 2 hours. $2 being like, okay, pretty good. 155 being pretty good. 150 and under is amazing. However, just because someone gets to 2 hours or over doesn't necessarily mean they're bad or anything. You know, sometimes things happen. Anything can happen. And one little mistake can really be bad for you. All right, believe in magic, guys. Look at this frog. He's taunting you, watching your every move. Like, yeah, you better be doing that 3 times. He's like bouncing. It's not even bouncing. It's almost like he's vibrating very quickly. The frog, I mean. All right, everyone believes in magic. So we're safe for now. Here's a cool little trick. When you eat that cake and then switch your characters around like that, it sort of breaks that text box and you can just like run out. Otherwise, you got to hear him talk about some nonsense no one cares about for way too long. All right, they both got the cake and dash. Kian opting to get the speed tab there. All right, we got like 3 skips coming up, actually. 3 cool skips coming. First is the Hecarim skip, which I'll get into that in a little bit when we get a little closer. Let's see, this might give Kehan an opportunity to catch up a little bit here. Here we go. This is pretty close now, actually. Alright, so now we're going to see the Hecarim skip, hopefully. Sort of like the other boss skips, you're going to get a save anywhere glitch right here. It's a pretty tight window. It's not as easy as the previous boss skips. Actually, I'm kind of surprised tzoonami got that. It looked like he was off by like a frame, but he still got it. For me, I would definitely retry that, but whatever, it worked. Normally, I like to see like Chrono doing a split almost. Like that's the frame I like. Kehanort getting a small lead here because I'm assuming he did the Hecarim skip the quicker way. There's two ways to do it. One's a little easier and one's a little more dangerous. Not dangerous, but it's a little harder to do. But it's quicker. I'm assuming that's what tzoonami was talking about when he said who needs 3 frames anyway. I definitely did not like that frame he did it on, but it worked. Here's another one. Here's another save anywhere glitch that's pretty cool. It's very LSS-esque, but you're going to store this pillar of light transition basically in this menu, and then you're going to hit A on a certain frame here, and then like Cake and Dash, you're going to switch your characters around so you can break away from the zip and then walk onto that save. And then because you're transitioning while standing on a save point, you'll be able to save anywhere. And I think they both got it. And then the next skip is the Zombor skip. Gotta talk to the guy on the bridge first. Gotta hit like a flag in the game or a trigger or whatever before we can proceed. The Zombor skip's a little interesting because you need to do what's called a release B. Depending on how you do it, you either release once or 3 times, but for you to walk past this next boss trigger, you need to do this release B. So it's a little trickier than other skips. I don't know why it works, but for whatever reason, releasing B, like you'll be running and then you quickly release and hit B again. It allows you to be able to walk past the boss trigger right there. I think that's good. And then he's going to reload and hopefully, well, it's like a fight trigger. The boss trigger is a little further down, but, and then he's got to do another one here. He's got to save past that guard a little bit. Then he'll be able to skip the boss fight here. All right, did it first try. That was really good. He's just going for it. He's not doing a safety shop or nothing. What a baller. All right, so he's going to equip Berserker on Chrono here. Do some other little menuing. Oh, let's check out tzoonami. Okay, that was perfect. He's definitely passed the trigger. He's got to get a little further ahead, I think, on that second trigger. All right, that should be good. All right, cool. That Zombor skip was relatively painless. Oh, you might not have noticed either, but when you reload, well, let's check out Tzoonami's screen. When he reloads, you might notice that he is up instead of on the lower level. Like, he's saved on the bottom of that screen, but then he just kind of walks up that little ledge, and you're on top of the screen. That skips a little cutscene with Tata. I don't know why it works, but it does. Kehanort being smart and saving. I also didn't realize that Kehanort has his mic on, so I might switch to the audio back. We'll see. We'll see how see how intrusive he gets. Okay, so Kehanort, I believe, is perfectly on the RNG here. All he's got to do is follow the script, and he'll be in business. Let's see if Luca gets hit with a 34. I think that will indicate that he's on the script. Yeah, there you go. Zoo going out. He's not doing no safety save, I believe. Kehanort going into the second phase. This is another fight where you have to do your actions during an animation. So, for instance, Chrono will attack twice, and then on Chrono's second attack, he'll do the fire as Chrono's attacking. And you'll see Chrono do 2 crits. And you'll see that he's waiting with Robo. You have to wait here for Chrono's attack to stay on the script. So Chrono attack, and then he'll do a rocket punch. And then here, after he attacks, when Masamune attacks Chrono, you need to check Robo's ATB. If it's off a little bit, like it is, you need to wait in Luca's menu here for Masa sort of to slip back into the correct ATB. So you'll see he's waiting in the menu, and then you might have noticed that Masa sort of like teleported to the left a little bit, which indicates that he's back on the script correctly. Or he fixed it, rather. He fixed his ATB, you know, Masamune's ATB. He said, oops. He's almost done the fight, so I can't imagine it being too bad. Yeah, I'm not sure why I said oops, because that seemed like a perfect fight. I might have missed something, though. Alright, and Zoo right behind him. Not sure where he is on the script right now, but it seems like it's going okay. Crit rocket punch? Yeah, okay. And then we should see attack from Chrono, and then a fire punch. Not a yeah. I said fire punch earlier. I think I meant to say rocket, but we should see a fire punch coming up, and then the fight should be over. All right, perfect. All right, next up, Kehanort. He's going to be doing a little bit of menuing, doing some unequipped glitch, getting some items. Nice menuing. Yeah, I got an unequipped Robo here. Like I said earlier, when you unequip the armor and helmet, it boosts your magic defense significantly. And your magic attack, except for fire. Fire is the only stat that doesn't get boosted for whatever reason. I can turn my mic down a little bit, maybe. The speed gaming guys might have a fit, though. I don't know. Because they sort of control all the levels, I believe. How's this? Let me know if I'm too low. I talk kind of loud, too. Yeah, no problem. I like how these Piccolos are totally chill with you time traveling through their house. Those mini Piccolos. Alright, he's gonna do a fade out glitch here. Kehanort is. You do a fade out and then you talk to Melchior, which skips a bunch of text. He talks to a whole lot. And you can see that he saved there the check to make sure that he was on the correct thing. It said the rare red rock, because if you don't talk to Melchior, you can't proceed in the game, basically. Here's a cool little trick. So he's gonna wait till these like little reptite guys are almost on the side of the screen to close those text box, which lines up this fight, like where these reptites are standing, in a desirable way, basically. Yeah, he waited for Slash there. I guess it's a little quicker than doing Flame Toss with Luca. It's a little tricky, but it's worth it. Kayla, also known as Kama. Again, Zoo here. Let's see. He closes the text box as soon as the reptile gets to the right of the screen to set up the fight perfectly. The position of the reptites. Oh yeah, so Kehanort is taking Marl out of his party because she parties way too hard. She gets a little ridiculous. Whereas Robo, on the other hand, is sort of your DD. Doesn't get too crazy. Keeps it reasonable. Shout outs to Robo being responsible so you can have a good time. This is your brain on Dino Soup. So on Kehanort's screen, we're going to see another fade out. Because Kino is like got some personal issues that he likes to talk about or something that we don't really want to hear about. So we're just going to skip over that. There's some tricky, this area is sort of for beginners, it's sort of tricky. It's kind of hard to remember where all the fight triggers are. It's actually not that bad. You just gotta like commit to it. All right, so we're gonna see Chrono get hit for 34 damage, indicating that we're on the script still on Kehanort's screen. That walk strat is scary. All right, we got a nice boss fight coming up here. You can like start to like notice how much the unequipped glitch helps with elemental damage. When Nisbel does his like zap when he releases the electricity, and you can definitely tell that the unequipped glitch is working wonders. And did I say Nisbel? Because what I meant to say was Caleb Hart. Look at this guy. Look how jacked he is. He really looks like he enjoys speedrunning Mega Man X games. Also, if you have a Nisbel split, I'm gonna ask that you change it to Caleb Hart. I'm trying to run this joke into the ground. It looks like he executed that fight perfectly. Tzoonami also about to face off with Caleb. You can really see how much damage those Berserker crits do too. Like it's pretty gnarly. Especially considering the levels that they're at. Yeah, dude, gnarly. Some really radical damage. Alright, Kehanort is going to do a little fade out glitch. He's also going to switch Robo out of his party. I forget why why that matters, but it does. Also, you'll notice that he like runs or walks into Melchior in this. It like speeds him up. It sort of works just like how when you walk into Yakura, he sort of like spins faster. His animations go quicker. Don't know how that works either, but it does. So like right here, you'll see that Chrono will start pushing into him. You know, you're looking over Melchior's shoulder, makes him work a little harder, I guess. Got some downtime now. So I just want to say, you know, thanks for the runners. If you're not following these guys yet, I'm going to ask that you do. Doing a great job. Shout outs to Speed Gaming for hosting this. Again, if you're interested in running this game, I think you should check it out. There's a lot of good resources. Everyone in the Discord is very nice. Pretty friendly. See if I can get some of these. See if I can get a link to the Discord and a link to the wiki. And there you go. I'm done spamming the chat. I should learn these commands. Shoutouts to all the guys who worked on this game a lot too, especially Red Slash, who's made really good notes for the game and shared them with everybody. And Elgrin Jerry for making a really good tutorial on YouTube. There's probably some other people that deserve thanks, but I'm sure Drunken Draconian has done some work. Maybe some other people. I also want to say that if you're intimidated by RNG manipulation in this game, I am going to tell you that it's honestly not as intimidating as it might seem or sound. So if you want to give it a shot, I encourage you to do so. Especially with Red Slash's notes. And with all that said, we're about to get into Magus's castle. I think this is the best part of the game. Well, the cutscene, I don't know. I just like Frog. It's sort of inspiring. Because at first he's sort of like, I don't know if I can do this. It's very Rocky-esque. And then he's just like, he just eats it. And he just grabs the situation by the horns. And he deals with it. He might be a frog now, but on the inside, he's a bigger frog that's cool. I don't know. Hand it over the Masamune. That's how I imagine he talks, by the way. Dost thou knowest his power? I also like his next line, where he says, "Be that magic you use." Oh, here's a nice little indicator. So you want to see Chrono get hit for 19 damage, which indicates that you're still on the script. Nice little way of telling what's going on, how good you're doing, or if you aren't sure or whatever. Oh yeah, that is true. I've heard of false 19s, actually. You are right. But if that lets you down, you can always check in the next fight as well. If you see Frog get rained on for 45 or 46 damage, you know that you're good to go. I have heard of the dirty false 19. And even if you are off the RNG, you can always do a reload, which are noted in the notes. Hey man, did you mess up? It's all good. Here's a backup. So here's what I was talking about. You'll see Crimson Rain hits Frog for 45 or 46 damage. So you know you're good to go. This next boss fight is sort of interesting. For the most part, you don't do anything. And the theory seems to be that because Frog's speed stat is the same as Flea's, Flea gets confused and kind of just does nothing. You do have to put in some, you have to input stuff at the end, but for the most part, you just sit back. Frog is going to hit Flea 16 times before you have to do anything. Well, Flea attacks in the beginning, but then that's pretty much it. Uh-oh. I don't like this ominous, very ominous. Did you get stared? What could this mean? What did he mean by this? Wow. We just got trolled? Okay. Unless he did an extra attack. Did he attack earlier, maybe? I don't know. I didn't notice, because I was... I guess not. I don't know. I don't know, man. I think I just got trolled, though. fight so free, the racers can even troll Twitch chat. How rude. Yo. Nice raid. Alright, so now I got this slash fight. This is a fight you definitely want to be on the script for. He's not very forgiving. Definitely, you want to input all your inputs during animations here as well. Well, not all of them. Sometimes you just hold X in this fight, but like for instance, when Frog attacks, you do a slash while during that animation, during the Frog animation. But like right here, you just hold X until Robo attacks. Then during the second phase of the slash fight, Chrono's gonna, the first two things Chrono does is use mid-tonics. But for instance, if you accidentally did Robo mid-tonic Frog during the next mid-tonic, it would totally mess things up. So you still gotta be careful. You wouldn't necessarily notice something was wrong until bad things were happening too. Unless you realize right away that you used the wrong guy to mid-tonic. Now he's waiting for Slash to spin cut Chrono before he uses a mid-tonic on Chrono. And then you might notice he's going to wait for Frog to attack 3 times before he does any more inputs. This is all a part of the script. Nothing's wrong. Alright, Zoo now getting into the slash fight. Still anyone's game. Definitely some possibilities. I won't say anything. I don't want to curse anyone again. And you might have noticed that he set Chrono to slash, just so later he can get to slash in a fight faster, or optimally. Alright, so he executed that fight pretty good. Well, perfectly, actually. Let's see how Zoo handles it. Kehanort is just gonna run away from all these fights. All right, Zoo, get into the second phase. And Zoo's just waiting for Frog to attack 3 times before he does any inputs. And then during that third attack, during the animation, he will hold X. You just hold X until Robo attacks twice. Then you wait for Frog to start doing crits. 2 crits, actually. This fight is a lot easier than it used to be. It used to be a little bit more stressful. It's still kind of stressful, but especially like using the mid tonic on Chrono. I think it was on Chrono. You only had like a 3-frame window, which is pretty, you know, it's a decent amount of time. It might be 4 frames, I forget. It's a pretty big window, but it can be a little stressful to execute. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, but... Alright. Kehanort didn't take his time at all in this little pitfall section. Nice little sneak by that Rolly. Alright, Zoo making it through. I think Kian was just pausing to check notes real quick. He's going to swap out Robo for Luca. For the next fight, I guess it ends up being faster just to swap her in real quick for her fire. But you might notice Kehanort is he's going to run away from this fight, but before he does that, he's going to set Frog onto... Oh, he's not going to do it, never mind. Excuse me. Maybe he's already on it, I'm not sure. Maybe he did it earlier, and I didn't notice, I'm not sure. Or maybe he's just not going to do the strat I thought he was going to do. Let's see, I'm really curious now. Okay, so he was already on X-Strike. I'm not sure when he did that, but at some point he set Frog's cursor to X-Strike so he could do that. Oh, does she? I'll have to remember that. Luke has less text during Aussie. Also, there's a fight in this door trigger, but if you run through it sideways, you just skip it somehow. So when Chrono Trigger got re-released on the PlayStation, they added like cutscenes, like anime cutscenes. And the character design was done by Akira Toriyama. So I guess they added those to the DS version. I've never played the DS version. Alright, so Kehanort gets the 119 on the right lever, which indicates that he's on the script still, which means no reloads, and you can go right to Magus and start the fight, or Magus, however you pronounce that. I always said Magus. Magus probably makes more sense. Switching Robo back in. You need Robo for the fight just because Magus is only gonna get weak to Shadow and Lightning. And Rocket Roll, if you don't know, it does shadow damage. Yeah, Magus' theme is pretty good. So you see that Magus opened up with that shadow attack. I forget what it's called, actually. But because he's using Shadow, he's now weak to Shadow. So that hence why you're going to use Rock and Roll next. All a part of the script. And then because he's doing the lightning barrier thing, the next attack he'll do is lightning. He's got to wait for the geyser, though. He wasn't going slow there. You have to input your commands here while he's doing geyser, so you stay on the right ATB. Alright, so we got that slash in. You want to get that slash in. Or wait, am I on there? No, wait, excuse me. It's this slash coming up. You want to get this slash in before Magus does his spell. Risk casting a spell. So he's still good. And then you need to input this frog attack and slash like during the frog attack. So you have to do slash during the frog attack. And then he's going to do slash next, and Frog needs to do his attack during the slash attack. So he's still good. He got his Frog attack in before Dark Matter. Oh wait, I'm a little ahead of myself. Excuse me. It's this Frog attack coming up. I'm trying to make this like easy to understand. I'm just making it worse. And he's queuing up the frog attack here. He's waiting for his Chrono to get his turn. Looks like it was a little too soon, but it's okay. He might still be okay. Even if Frog dies, it's not a big deal in a Magus race. All right, sick. So we got our first finish. 153 is a really good time, especially considering he like died on the Robos. That's pretty good. Like, that's pretty nuts. Pretty good race too, actually. He got real close. Also, a reminder, if you're not following these guys, please give them a follow. It's pretty stressful to do a race and a marathon. Or, you know, not a marathon, in a, just whatever this is. In this event, I guess. We'll call it a marathon. Thank you, V-Man, for using those commands for me, since I'm too dumb to just remember them. Yeah, race tournament, you know. Alright, Zeus should be coming up on the end very soon. I'm not sure exactly where he's at, but he's nearing the end. That's the second Dark Matter. Well, it didn't get casted, but I think you guys know what I mean. Spell, I guess. Should be coming up on the end very soon. All right, cool. Looks like he executed that fight perfectly too. Yeah, spell magic. Yeah, GG to all the runners. Okay. Looks like we got Kehanort in here. Let's see if he unmutes his mic.
Hello?
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
So were you aware that I cursed you, or were you listening?
Yeah. I was
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
I should have kept my mouth shut because I noticed, because I did the same thing yesterday. I named Chrono No by mistake, and then you named Robo Bobo, and I named him Bo, and I was like, oh man, he's good. It's something bad's gonna happen. And then it did.
I mean, I thought the extra Bo at the end of Bobo's name would even
Counteract, yeah.
Yeah. But it didn't happen though.
Yeah. The Nobo curse. That's what I'm calling it from now on.
But aside from that little mistake, that fight, I think I did pretty well.
Yeah, I was saying that you got a 153. That's pretty good considering what had happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think this would have been at least a 150.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
You know,
We also have
that kind of
sorry,
stuff just happens with Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, something can always happen. We also have Zoo with us.
Yeah, I'm here. Good race, Kehanort. I had a good time.
Yeah, it was a good race. I don't know if you were aware that I cursed him.
I've had chat open, so
Okay.
I was aware.
It was actually really even at that point.
Yeah, because I mean, I knew going into it that the Kehanort was a lot more fresh on this than I have been, because I haven't really ran in 2 years. So my kind of strategy was, play as safe as I could reasonably play. And if he made a major mistake, hopefully I could, catch up. And it kind of worked out, but it just wasn't enough.
I mean, for being rusty, you seem pretty good.
Yeah, I was really impressed with everything after our series was pretty fine, I would say. Which is good. I had made a lot of early game mistakes, but that's just kind of how it goes.
Especially with nerves. I don't know if you guys get like nerves in the race. I don't know. I do. Like I get all shaky at first. I don't know why.
Yeah. At the start of every race, I'm always shaking a bit. I actually, I attempted the no-stop bird skip, and I got it at the beginning, and my heart was racing, but I couldn't tell I had gotten, so I stopped midway. And I almost got into that encounter by accident.
Yeah, that's scary.
After that, I was a little bit fine because that happened and I got past it.
I was pretty nervous at the start, and especially early on with the new stuff before Yakura. But when I saw Kehanort's face, I was like, well, he's way ahead of me now, so I'm just gonna chill out and play the best I can play.
Yeah, it's almost a relief.
Because I mean, it's one, and then when he messed up on our series, I was like, oh no, the pressure was back on.
Yeah. It just seems like the first two fights, especially in the beginning, like you have this uncontrollable thumb. Like I just got to hit right.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, it's tough.
It's especially worse because there's just so much mashing, just complete nothingness, and then the first fight is at least a little bit tricky. Because you're kind of completely cold at that point.
Yeah, and in that our series fight, I knew I was on a good pace, so I kind of tried to do that without using the mid tonic.
Yeah, I was wondering. I wasn't sure because it looked like your first input was good on the R series.
Yeah, I think it was, and I think I was 1 or 2 frames off, and when that happened, they got an extra turn, and I didn't use the mid tonic, and Luca died. So
Yeah.
I could have lived if I had gotten a little bit good RNG on the damage rolls, but it didn't happen, so I had to reset. Fortunately, I did that safety save.
Yeah, that's
Because
smart.
I was thinking of skipping that.
I would safety save too. If you know Bo, you got a safety save.
Yeah,
Did you save did you go back out and save after slimes? Is that what you did? Or was it before?
Saved at the beginning, yeah. Right after.
I got the 5 oranges on slimes. I was I was a little tilted by that.
Yeah, that's the worst because it's their defense is nuts.
Yeah, but what you gonna do?
Yeah, but it was a good race. Thanks you guys for coming out and racing.
Yeah, thanks Jack for doing this solo. I know how rough that can be.
Yeah, I'm sure there was
after this.
I'm sure there was some lulls in the commentary, but what do you whatever.
Thanks for the commentary, dude. I think you have company for the next one.
So yeah, I think Jerry's joining me.
It's interesting that these races are back to back because Kehanort's going to go against the winner of the next race in the next round. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Probably.
Right.
Probably Red Slash, but you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the other guy's skill is. There's a few. I only know like some people's skill levels. There's a lot of people I don't know.
Punk's been practicing a lot from his streams. I think, if Red Slash messes up something, Punk definitely has a chance. I wouldn't rule him out yet.
I mean, we saw the showcase race between Red Slash and Drunken Draconian.
Yeah, I know
even the best riders make mistakes.
Yeah, I know their skill levels pretty well. But yeah, at any point, someone could do something and mess everything up.
And there are plenty of points where just like a simple, like tiny input error is, 5
minutes lost. Could be very simple. It doesn't have to be a big mistake. Just some little tiny thing you didn't do, and it can be a problem.
2 frames off on first Star Series Cyclone, for example, could lose you 4.5 minutes.
Or when you run too early on the fight before Masamune and lose 9 minutes or something.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I practiced that a bunch before the race, making sure I was getting both of the fights down.
Yeah, I'm always nervous about Masamune because, I think 95% of my runs die there, so every time I get into that, I'm a little bit shaky.
I'm not sure if the other guys are ready or not, so we can just keep talking, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, how's everyone's day going?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I was kind of nervous how it's going to be with Rust. I hadn't done any non-textless runs in 2 years, but I've been playing textless lately. So I didn't know how I was going to adjust to that, but I say overall it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I could see why that would be a little bit stressful.
Yeah. I am never naming Chrono No again. If I do, I'll probably rename.
Yeah, don't do it. You don't want Nobo. I'm convinced it's a curse.
It's like the reverse juju to losing the Johnny race and then getting good luck for the rest of the run. Speaking of Johnny race, I had a bit of a close call there.
A close call?
Yeah, I think I won by maybe 2 pixels or something. It was very close.
That's pretty sick.
I think I lost in my last race, so I just went safe and bumped into him at the end.
I have a bit of a complex about it. I think I lost a race in both of my first 2 races in my last tournament. So, barely winning, maybe I've gotten a little better. I also nailed the 1 frame Hecarim skip. That was nice.
Yeah, who was it that it looked like his knees? Like I usually see I think that was you, right?
Yeah, well, see if you don't reload before you do it.
Oh, that's what you do.
You only get 1 frame.
I was like, because I was commenting both of you, so it was difficult to keep up with everything.
Yeah,
but I noticed
you only get a little bit of a chance to see.
I was like, that's not the right frame, but it
is reload.
So I was a little confused there. I was like, well, he got it, but I was like, that's not the frame I normally use, but it worked.
Yeah, if you don't reload, it's RNG and it's a 1 frame.
That's sick. Okay.
Yeah, I think both of my skips went pretty well.
I think I was double second try on Zombor, which wasn't so bad. Could have used some more practice, but
Zombor is so finicky. I feel like sometimes you feel like you got it, and other times it's just like, why is nothing working right now?
My favorite thing about it is every time I do rust after 6 months or whatever, and then this time I think it was like a year since the last time I'd run. In practice, the very first time I try Zombor, it's double first try every time, and then it's like I completely lose it and have to relearn it again after that. It's just one of those things that you can kind of overthink it if you are thinking too much about it, but if you just go on your instincts, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, especially like if you don't do it the first or second try, maybe like you get a little tilted and it can just make it worse.
Especially when to me, like the rough ones are the ones where you like menu early instead of just missing the double tap. Or maybe the release B, but because those are just like, oh, if I just waited, another few frames, I would have been fine.
If you menu early, you can get a little lucky if you just keep mashing menu, like just kind of inch your way over a little bit.
But there's nothing you can do if you miss your timing on the start.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
I also had to pull out some math on my Magus, the Aussie fight, getting the T38. That was fine. I gotta say that was the weirdest way to lose Shelter Skip, was getting hit in the very first fight after Slash. I was a little tilted by that.
Sometimes you get lucky and it doesn't mess
up.
Yeah,
I was just like distracted, and then I was like, oh yeah, I don't actually have to do the skip. I don't have to do the menu trick here, but oh well.
I just menu trick it. I don't. I think the notes say you don't have to, but I always just do it.
You don't if your RNG is fine, but
I don't menu trick it, so I can set it. I can set the frog to extract there. I think it's easier.
Oh yeah, because I was like, oh. I was like, all right, he's gonna set his menu to extract, and then I guess you had done it like previously, and I was like, oh, never mind, he already did it.
I do that.
Those lazy menu trick before that fight. I think I've gotten off RNG because I took too long, so I don't.
It is a little riskier because it's the fight right before it, so. If you're off by 1 point on the crits, you're just gonna miss it.
I think if you take too long on that menu trick, Frog doesn't get his crit in the next fight. So.
Oh yeah, is the next race scheduled for 6:30? I think that's why.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to get in like real quick. Well, we can just talk. Yeah, we can have a nice conversation about Chrono.
15 minutes away still.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to schedule it so there'd be a little bit of time for setup and stuff for the next race. I probably could have done, 415 instead, but I didn't know how bad I was gonna be.
So, Kian, you have to go against the winner, right? Of the next race? Is there someone you'd rather race?
I mean,
or does it not matter at all?
Doesn't really matter, I guess. Probably gonna be Red Slash, if I'm being honest. But I do like my chances against, pretty much anyone in the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the one big mistake, it looked like you were playing really great to me, especially like early on. The pace was insane.
Yeah, I think that was a 2659 Dragon tank,
Nice.
even with the safety save before Yakra, so that was pretty good. That felt nice. And I was almost upset because I actually got Candy Skip, and it messed my Yakra skip.
Yeah, it's funny because I was like, oh, did he get Candy Skip? I didn't notice right away. I noticed when you came back. And I was like, how did I not notice that?
I should really learn Candy Skip for those delicious 61 frames.
It's hard. I don't understand why it's so hard.
I'm actually glad Candy Skip only saves a second, because if it actually
that would suck.
If it saved like the full 20 or whatever, that would be real rough.
Yeah, you'd have to reset every time you didn't get. Like,
imagine playing
We
the
need
first
Game Plus
5
now.
minutes of the game over and over again until you get Candy Skip, and then messing up the first fight.
or Birdscape instead, that would suck.
Yeah. What else can we? How do you guys feel about LSS?
I need to learn it.
It was
Do you
definitely
love it or hate it?
stupid before.
It's stupid.
but
Yes,
now
it was. Yeah, it was.
it's
Definitely
less,
stupid.
It's less stupid. It's still stupid, but a little bit less. And I got it first try on my last 90% run, so
Yeah, it was definitely incredibly dumb for when it emerged.
yeah, the setup for it, the breakaway, the RNG for the good frame, the double tap, everything was stupid about it actually. But now it's good. It's okay.
It's doable now. It's not just well, hopefully I don't do this 30 times. Now it's like I hope I get it first try.
I need to come to a marathon or something and get someone to teach me LSS. It's just too much.
It's not too bad if you just start if you just try to reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
It kind of, because that's how I learned how to do it. Because when the first time I asked about LSS, everyone was like, "Don't worry about that trick." No, no one told me how to do it, and I was just like, "Well, I'll just watch a video and try to just figure it out." And that's how I learned it. The only thing I guess now that it's more doable, if you just find out what frames you need to close the text boxes on and stuff, it's really, especially with the practice ROM, it's not too hard.
I think the hardest, the only hard part of the trick is, getting into the position on that last menu.
The breakaway is a little weird. I think that needs the most explaining, because you get really lost trying to figure that out yourself.
The breakaway, I have a little setup for it, involving Mars position. It's not really complicated if you have a feeling for it.
Yeah, it helps too if you use the light post. Like if you can use it so that you wait. Sometimes you might have to wait for the second character to run to a certain point, like away from you.
Yeah, exactly. If you got that figured out, you can do it pretty easily.
Yeah, but learn that, Zoo. You can do it.
Yeah, I know I can. I just need to sit down and do it. And I know, like, once I knew I could do it, it would probably, like, I would be able to practice it, but it's getting over the initial hump of learning it for the first time. Because, I tried to learn no LSS a while back, but L Magus is too much for me. And nowadays, it's LSS is easier than L Magus anyway, so the choice is made.
I learned LSS just because I didn't feel like learning Lavo Shell.
Yeah.
It was kind of tough too. I don't know if they changed it at all, but it was kind of.
I think it's harder now.
Is it?
Yeah.
More reason to just do it. Just learn LSS.
I mean, you can do safe strats on it, but not as fast. But now, before any percent was definitely the hardest category because of the dumb LSS. Now it's a lot easier than no.
Oh yeah, in case anyone's wondering, like, what we're talking about, Lavo Shell Skip. And some people probably don't realize that.
It's like a wrong position warp in the last little part of the game, where basically you, if you get out of bounds in the end of time, and when you get teleported to the lava shell area, your position is set differently than it would be. It's set based on your location in the end of time. So if you get out of bounds and get to a specific point, you can just like get behind lava shell and click the portal.
Japanese is faster, I believe, but
yeah, just barely now.
I think a lot of people just run English because it's. I don't know how many Japanese runners are there. Well, how many runners run the Japanese version rather? Like Red Slash and.
It got a little.
Well, is Japanese faster for Magus RTA?
It is.
I'm assuming it is. Yeah.
But I think we chose the American version just because
most
it's
people run it.
Easier to learn.
Yeah.
And
then there's like, because I mean, Japanese isn't faster for like 100% or something, or maybe it is, but no one runs it anyway.
I know
just not routed.
For a while, everyone wasn't exactly sure which was faster because the English version has an exclusive glitch, sort of, where the unequip glitch increases your magic damage as well.
You'd think with that the decreased reliance on unequip in 100% that Japanese would pull ahead again, but it's hard to tell unless something routes sometimes, and it's just not there right now.
I wish the any percent English was faster. I don't feel like learning.
Well, it's just it could get faster again if
let's just figure that out.
The US might get faster again. And that's just kind of how it's always been. It's whoever has the most time to make new fights, though. We're probably running out of them in the US.
But I think Japanese version is about a minute faster, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but...
It's not that much, I think it's a little bit less. At least for Magus RTA. For 20% it's, I think, 1 or 2 minutes. I think it's 2 minutes. But for Magus RTA it doesn't matter that much. And the scripts for the American version are easier. And you got the magic boost. So US is better in this case.
Yeah, it's a little easier to get into if you speak English.
It's actually a shame because you can't alternate doing runs between Japanese and US version.
Yeah, the
the
script's a little
Japanese
different,
battle
right?
menu, yeah, the battle menu it works differently as well.
Oh, it does. I didn't even know.
It really messes up all of your timing because tech menu on the Japanese version it's a bit slow. You can't input immediately as you enter it. So every time you go from one to another, you feel the difference. Yeah, I guess race is about to start, so I'll say goodbye to you guys. Have a nice race. Should be a good
Yeah.
one.
Thanks for racing, guys. Thanks for hanging
Yeah.
out with me too while we're setting up for the next race.
And GG to Tzoonami again. It was pretty fun.
Yeah,
Good
thanks.
race.
I really had a good time. It was closer than it should have been.
Alright,
With
see ya.
The commentator curse, just too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys, everyone hold tight while we set up for the next race.